Look at these 100 coins. If we had this amount of uranium ore, we would be able to extract from that one coin of pure uranium. Now, used as a nuclear fuel, it would generate the same amount of heat as 10 of these 2.5 kilogram bags of coal. As you can imagine, it greatly reduces the waste emission. So, how do nuclear power plants work? And how do they compare to other sources of electricity? Glad you asked. Nuclear reactors are based on radioactive isotope chain reaction. It's being bombarded with neutrons, and most of the time it splits into lighter elements and free neutrons, whilst emitting energy as thermal radiation. These free neutrons hit other molecules, causing a closely controlled self-sustaining reaction, which requires a use of a moderator. It is completely different than the one in atomic bomb, in which reaction is immediate and uncontrolled. Nuclear reactors can be divided by the moderator used. There are three main types. In light water reactor, it is water, which may be later used to power a turbine. Water is the cheapest moderator, but not the safest nor the most efficient one, as it requires enriched uranium. However, more than 80% of nuclear reactors are light water reactors. Other two types are heavy water and graphite moderated reactors. Heavy water is a particle composed of two deuterium molecules and one oxygen molecule, and graphite is a form of coal mainly used in pencils. Both of them tend to be more thoroughly thermalized than the light water reactor. Due to this fact, they can use natural, unenriched uranium, which makes them a better choice. Now let's talk about waste management. The whole waste, such as uranium and plutonium, is being safely stored mainly deep under the reactor. Nuclear is the only energetic sector that takes whole responsibility for produced waste. The smoke emitted by nuclear plants is simply steam, which isn't radioactive. What about the radiation? Well, it is negligible and constantly monitored. Typically, a smoker receives 2,500 times more ionizing radiation than a person living within 80 kilometers from the reactor. In terms of safety, nuclear causes only 90 deaths per trillion kilowatt-hour, with Chernobyl and Fukushima being the only major fatal accidents. The coal, which is perceived a safe alternative for nuclear, is the most dangerous, causing even 100,000 deaths to produce the same amount of energy. What about greenhouse gases emission? Nuclear is one of the cleanest sources of energy, generating slightly more greenhouse gases than wind turbines and hydropower plants. 1.5 times less than solar photovoltaic, and finally 10 up to 20 times less than fossil fuel plants. Unfortunately, the greenest ways to produce electricity are not available for every country. Wind turbines require a whole lot of space and, most importantly, fast and regular winds. Hydropower plants require vast and fast-flowing rivers, and some countries are not able to meet these conditions, and the alternative for them is nuclear. So why don't we just focus on renewables and nuclear power plants? Well, unfortunately, nuclear reactors are very expensive, reaching the cost of billions of dollars and taking quite time to build, usually from 5 years to even decades. Therefore, it takes them a long time to become profitable, and that discourages many countries from investing in them. Apart from that, they cause significant social resistance and many protests. That's very unfortunate, as we have to start caring about greenhouse gases emission to stop the global warming. Hopefully, we will start building nuclear reactors in Europe instead of closing them. What's also worth mentioning is that nuclear reactors technology is being constantly improved, and thorium reactor may become a new and efficient way to acquire energy. It uses thorium to produce uranium-233 isotope, which has several advantages over uranium nuclear reactor, such as greater abundance of thorium on Earth, less radioactive waste, superior physical and nuclear fuel properties, and lack of easy weaponization. To sum up, nuclear energy may be the way to the green future.